Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to explain how you can run Python scripts from VBA. So before explaining the code, let me explain why it's necessary, why it's needed. Let's suppose you have a workflow that combines VBA, Power and Python language Power as well. So for example, when you work with JSON file or web scraping, then Python is super useful and flexible. So in this particular project, I had Python script that extract some JSON based on some regex query. Okay, so it's not like simple regex, but in Python we have a library called JSON, and using that library you can easily clean JSON file and extract relevant information. Okay, and that Python script was also running some TypeScript based code. Okay, so it's like particular workflows, three language combinations. One is VBA, another one is Python, another one is TypeScript. VBA call that Python script and Python call that TypeScript. Okay, and this workflow clean up this JSON file and set the response to a clean JSON file. So let's say you have some built-in Python script that's much flexible and you want to run that Python script from VBA. So why do we need this one? Because once we run this Python script, then after the Python script is done, I need to process that clean JSON further in the Excel side. So I need a way to call that Python script and wait till that particular Python script is finished. And once that particular Python script is finished, then I can further process this using VBA. So that's the use case. So couple of things. One is that I need to call that Python script, and before calling that particular Python script, I need to make sure that I call that Python script so that it activates the virtual environment, because all the library that I'm using in that Python script is installed on that virtual environment. So I need to activate the virtual environment, and I need to wait till that particular Python script is done before processing further in the VBA side. Okay, so I'm going to show you how can we do this using VBA. Okay, and this is only possible in Windows based operating system because I'm using an external library, and that's why we need Windows based. If you need Mac based solution, then let me know in the comment section and I will try to record another video on that particular topic. So here is the script. Okay, so this is that run by Python scripts function. Okay, and it takes three parameters. One is that Python file path, so you can specify the Python file path, and then root directory path. This path is basically the root folder of that particular Python scripts, that is basically for activating the virtual environment. What this does is that it sends a command prompt that okay, I need to change this directory to this root directory, and then I need to activate that virtual environment. And this is the HAR file path, so this is a command line argument. And let me show you the Python script, and you can see this is the simple Python script. It does a lot of stuff, you can see, based on this parser class, but this part is simple. So it's basically checking that okay, if we have at least one command line argument or not, and if we have that, then get that command line argument and then pass that command line argument for further processing. Okay, so that's the basically process, and this is the last parameter, that is HAR file path, that is basically that command line argument. Okay, this is the simple code, run PY script. You can pass those parameters, and for this we need one external library, and that is Windows script host object model. So we need this particular library to run this particular Python script. So that is this WSH as WSH shell, and I'm just creating a new instance of WSH shell, and this is the command. So let me just show you the command first. Okay, so if I just run this, then you'll see that it printed that command on this immediate window. And let me explain this. So it says cmd/c, so it's running a command prompt. Okay, and then it says cd/d. So basically I'm saying that okay, I need to change the directory to this particular location. Okay, and I'm using double quotes because sometimes you will have a space in your folder path or file path, and it's important to specify those things inside a double quote. So to be 100% sure, I am just using double quotes. It doesn't matter if we have space or not. Okay, if we have space, then it will handle that, but if we don't have any space, no problem. So I'm just changing the directory to this particular folder, and then I'm using this ampersand. So that is basically, if this succeeds, then run the next command, and that is activate this virtual environment. You can see venv scripts and activate, and then after activating that, then get this command. So just run this command Python, and then just passing this Python file path. You can see this one. Now once we pass this Python file path, I need to specify that command line argument, right? So that is this file path, and that's done on this last part. You can see this is again another file path for that HAR. Okay, so you can just copy that command and then you can just run this manually on this command prompt as well, and you can see it says received file path and then it's doing some stuff. Let me show this in the VBA side. So I'm just going to run this command and then I'm just going to show a message box that it's done. Let's see, and you can see it opened the command prompt. It says receive file path and it's processing some stuff, right? A classified, and this will run. We run this fully. So it's running, but you can see the VBA message box is not appeared yet because it's running that Python script. So it's waiting till the Python script is finished its running stage. So let's see. Once this command prompt will close, then I'll get this message box, and I'll show you that how can you run this so that it doesn't wait for the Python script to finish. Like let's say you have some worker code that you want to just run that and it will take care of other stuff, and you don't need to get response from the Python side to be used further in the VBA side. In that case, you can just run this command and then further process the VBA side without waiting for the Python side. And you can see it says it's done. And let me show you how can you run this so that VBA doesn't wait for Python script to be finished. Okay, and that is this last command. It says wsh run, and you can see it says wait one return. Right now it's true, and that's why it's waiting. So let's say if you just specify false, by default it's false. So if you don't specify, still it will be used as a false. And let me run this time. And you can see I already have this message pops up that it's done, right? And the code is running now. So that's how we can wait for Python script to be finished, or you can just run this Python script and then further process the VBA side without waiting for the Python script to be finished. And you can see this second argument as well. It says window style, and you can specify the window style parameter as well. One is as a normal structure. I think there are multiple options like 3. You can specify as a maximized. So like, let's say if I just use 3, if I run this, you can see it's maximized, right? So you can use 1, you can use 3. By default, I prefer 1 because I can see the command prompt window and I can see different logs that Python is printing in that particular command prompt. And that's it for this video. Let me know if you have any question or any particular suggestion in the comment section. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Have a good day.